Greetings and welcome to Thriving Thursdays. I am Lakeisha Major and I wanted to welcome you to my Thriving Thursdays. This week we're doing things a bit different. Normally I go live, but today I had a lot going on. And I normally have a lot going on Thursdays, but today I kind of was wanting to cancel and say, there's just too much going on. I was just feeling still drained from the weekend. I guess I was just making excuses why, I couldn't come on today. I can wait till next week, type of thing. And so I was quickly reminded that I had made a commitment to come on every Thursday. And although I couldn't come on during my normal time, that I should probably record it and post it later. And so I was like, yeah, no, it won't be missed. I can just promote last week's because I never promoted last week's video. So if you didn't see last week's video, Being Okay with Small Beginnings, make sure that you go and check that video out. So today I said, you know what? I just really don't want to. And I was reminded of an incident that happened this weekend, and it kind of played into what I was feeling today. And so I wanted to share that with you and talk about a sense of urgency and how bad do you want something. So over the weekend, everyone knows I'm a football mom, and if you don't know, I have a son that, loves football. And so he ended up having to go to two trainings on Saturday morning. He had to go to his speed and strength training as well as his normal DB training, just because of the way that the schedule worked out last week. He ended up having two trainings in one day. And so he said he finished his strength and agility speed training, and he was like, Mom, I really can't go today. I can't do DB training. I am so tired. My legs hurt. I just want to go home. And I'm like, well, we've already committed to, going on Saturdays. Plus you missed the Saturday before for taking your ACT test. So you kind of have to go today. You can push through it. And he said, Mom, everyone has their breaking point. Like, I am tired and I want to go home. And I said, well, how do you know your breaking point if you don't push past it? It's an hour and a half. You can pull it together. You can do it. He was huffing and puffing, and he just did not want to go. And I'm like, well, I'm here. You'll thank me later type of thing. I'm here. I'm going to push you. And so we went, and he had attitude. I'm like, you got to pep it up. He's like, they're going to be yelling at me because I'm going to be running slow. My legs really hurt. And so I said, well, you already know what it is. It's a decision. It's a mindset that you have set for yourself. Now, just go out there and do what you need to do. You have the rest of the day, the rest of the weekend to kind of relax and just chill out. And so, of course, the attitude persisted. And, I was like, we're going to training. It doesn't matter if you have an attitude or not. You just have to deal with what happens when you get there. And so we go to training, and I'm watching him. I'm like, okay, he's giving some effort. He's doing what he needs to do. And after the training, the trainer comes up, and the coach trainer comes up and says, you know what? I got smiles today. And if you know my son, those that don't, he is so mellow. You rarely get a smile out of him, like unless he's super excited, you will know that, or if he's super sad, you will know that. But the kind of in-between type of kid, he's not. You will not know that. And he got smiles. And then he said, I like the energy. You were loose. I really like what you brought today. And I'm like, this is the kid that didn't even want to come. He did not want to come. He wanted to come home, and you're giving smiles and you're doing all of this. I said, see, you don't know your limit if you don't push past how far that you think that you can go. And so I was reminded of that story today when I was like, I think that I'm going to cancel. I just promote last week's because I didn't promote it. And I was reminded about the story of how I had to push my son into doing what he said that he wanted to do. This is what he told me that he wanted to do to get ready for his senior year season. And so I had to sit back and think about, after I was reminded by one of my mentors, which is my sister. I talk to her a lot. My sister reminded me of that story of how I pushed him. So I needed to push myself, whether I went live, whether I recorded it and posted it later, but I still needed to stay committed to that thing that I said that I was going to stay committed to. And then it reminded me of his last season and how he wasn't too happy with last season. The coaches were on him. So many were expecting high things from him. And he was just like, la, li, la, okay. You know, that kind of attitude. He enjoyed playing. He wanted to play, but he just wasn't producing the results that everybody was expecting him to produce. And so I sat there and thought about it and said, he wanted it. He wants to play. He wants to play at the next level, but he was missing the sense of urgency, what needed to be done, because football has a time limit. So he was missing the sense of urgency. And so it made me think about where he is now and how he told me he wanted to go to speed, strength and agility training, which is 3 days a week. And he wants to go to DB training and wide receiver training. He wants to do all of these things to get ready for the next season, where now he has a sense of urgency because he's going into his senior year. And so if he doesn't produce the results that he wants to produce, then he could possibly lose a chance of playing at the next level, at the collegiate level, in which he's always wanted to do. And so in that, I started thinking about myself. Yes, I am pushing him, motivating him, being there, his number one fan, for something that he said he wanted to do. But what am I doing for myself? For my dreams? Where's my sense of urgency? I had to remember that he trains an hour and a half almost every day, at least an hour and a half almost every day. Some days more than that, especially if he has workouts at school and then he has his training in the evenings on the same day. That could be 3 to 4 hours in that day that he does that training. How much time am I spending on my business? How much time am I spending on feeding others nuggets to thrive in their life, to not just survive? How much time am I spending in growing my business and the things that I wanted to do? And I became convicted in myself, knowing that I'm pushing him towards his dreams, but I'm not giving the same effort towards my dreams. I don't have that same sense of urgency. I found myself saying, you know what? I'm where he was just this past season. Kind of going with the flow. I work, some days I post a lot, some days I don't, kind of thing. It's not really a sense of urgency that I need to get these things done. It's not a sense of urgency that somebody commits the word that I could be giving that could change their whole life, because I've been kind of comfortable. And so I wanted to talk about that, a sense of urgency. See, how much we put into our self-growth, how much we put into our business and our dreams that we have, all depends on, one, how bad we want it, but two, our sense of urgency. When do we want to get it done? See, my sense of urgency isn't as high because I don't have a deadline of next month or the end of the year. I want to be at this great level. I have the mindset, okay, well, I'm a mom first and my kids, they have these activities. And as soon as I get him squared away and he's at the collegiate level, then I can begin. But why can't I do the small steps now? Why can't I if he's putting in an hour and a half every day, why can't I put in an hour every day while I'm sitting there waiting for him to finish his training? Or, the days that I'm not running back and forth between cheer practice and football training and dance class and all of these things. I do put in personal development every day. That's the thing. I listen to different motivational speakers and lessons and things like that I'm pouring into me. But what am I pouring out? See, my gift is to help other people. And so if I'm not using my gift, I'm just taking the gifts from others and just pouring it in, I'm not totally fulfilling my goals and my dreams. I'm really kind of putting them on the back burner, or saying, well, you know, if they happen, they happen, but that's not what we're supposed to have. And when we're trying to thrive in life, that's kind of, I'm just surviving, I'm just okay with where I am type of mindset. And we don't want to be there, right? We want to thrive. And what does it mean to thrive? Trust the process, highlighting all wins, receive guidance, invest in yourself, vacate negativity, and evaluate your goals. Are you doing those things daily? So now I have to take it upon myself to make sure at least an hour out of the day, I can take an hour. I take an hour to watch TV. I take an hour if you add up all the time that I scroll on social media or texting friends and stuff like that. I can take an hour each day out of my an hour each day to put into my business, to grow my business, to grow myself personally as well. So I want to challenge you today to find out, how bad do you want your dreams, and what is your sense of urgency? What is your timeline? Are you okay with, do you have the mindset where if it happens, it happens? You know, I'm okay with 5 years or 10 years down the line. But we don't all know that we have 5 or 10 years. Somebody could need what you're doing today. They could need that idea that you have. They can need that book in their life that can change their direction that they're going. They can need that while you're saying, I have tomorrow. Somebody might need it today. So I want you to go back and look at where you are, look at your goals, and see what your sense of urgency is, and find out, do you need to step it up? Do you need to say, you know what, I need to put that hour in, or I need to put that 2 hours in? If you're sitting there watching TV or chatting and gossiping on the phone or scrolling social media or, you know, playing games or any of those things, all of these outside factors, and there's nothing wrong with them, but how much time are you putting into yourself? So my question to you is, how bad do you want it? And what is your sense of urgency to get it? What do you need to do to increase your urgency? So I want to challenge you this week as we conclude with Thriving Thursdays, and I want to thank you for listening this week as I made up for not being able to go live, but I still got it done because I had that mentor that came and reminded me of the goal that I had set. You can't quit. You cannot do something just because it just didn't fit into the time. There's other ways to get it done, and that's what I did today. So I want to challenge you, for you to know how bad you want it and what are you willing to do to get it done. And with that being said, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to go back and listen to last week's message and all the, each message each week for Thriving Thursdays. There's several of them up there, so stay up to date, like, share, post, and let me know of where you are in your journey and how bad you want something and what you're willing to do. And let's get together and talk about it. Maybe there's things that I can encourage you with or help you with, and you can help me and keep me up, because I do have the days where I'm down and I don't want to do something, I'm not motivated, and so we're here to motivate each other. So with that being said, I am out of here. Thank you for joining me. Although we're not live today, we are still recorded, and I will see you back next week for Thriving Thursdays. Thank you, thank you, thank you.